Hello everyone, you all are welcome to my channel. This video is about the art of black tea processing. At the end of this video, you will be able to have a better idea about the basic processing steps in the black tea powder production process. I think all black tea lovers will enjoy this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Well, shall we move into the process? Black tea is one of the most popular teas in the world. When it comes to black tea processing, what happens is we are converting fresh tea leaves of Camellia sinensis plant into the rich, flavorful beverage. The black tea production process initiates with the plucking of the leaves, which are then withered, rolled, oxidized, and dried to create the finished product. The first step of the black tea production process is plucking. It is a process of harvesting and collecting tea leaves of the Camellia sinensis bushes. When it comes to plucking, the fresh green tea leaves are harvested at intervals of 7 to 14 days. Here, we only pluck 2 tender leaves and the bud. We can harvest tea leaves either by hand picking or machine picking. In order to produce high-quality tea, leaves can be harvested by hand. But the drawback of the manual harvesting process is, it is a highly labor-intensive process. We can use machine picking in case it is difficult to find labor. Once the tea leaves are harvested, they are bringing into a tea processing plant for further processing. In the processing plant, freshly plucked leaves are subjected to a withering process. Here what happen is we are spreading the tea leaves on large trays or troughs as a thin layer and warm air is blown across them. This will wilt the leaves and remove the excess moisture from the leaves. This withering process leads to different biochemical and physiological changes within the leaves that are helpful in rolling and oxidizing processes. These include promoting leaf protein breakdown into free amino acids, which result in an increase in amino acid content. Also, it will increase the availability of caffeine and carbohydrates. Further, it will result in maximizing the polyphenol oxidase activity and breakdown of chlorophyll. Do you know what are the best temperature time conditions for withering process? Well, depending on the final quality of tea, withering time varies from 16 to 20 hours. Some studies have found that withering at low temperature short time will produce good flavored tea, while withering at high temperature long time can produce good color tea but with adverse flavor properties. Shall we move on to our next processing step? It is called rolling or disruption. Once the tea leaves have sufficiently withered, they are subjected to a rolling process. Here, what happens is, tea leaves are bruised, twisted and then broken down into small pieces. This will break down the cell walls of the tea leaves and release the enzymes that are later responsible for the oxidation process. Also, it will cause some of the sap, essential oils, and juices inside the leaves to ooze out, which further enhance the taste of tea. The rolling process can be done by using machinery like orthodox rolling machine, rotor vane machine and CTC machine. Okay, our next processing step is oxidation, which allows teas to turn brown. This process is the key differentiating factor between different types of teas. For instance, when it comes to black tea, it is fully oxidized tea compared to other tea types like green tea, oolong tea and white tea. But when it comes to green tea and yellow tea, no oxidation is there, while slight spontaneous oxidation occurs in white tea. So this is the most important step when it comes to black tea production, because this step helps to get the final distinct color of black tea. Once the rolling process is completed, the leaves are subjected to an oxidation process. Here, tea leaves are spread out as thin layers in 5 to 8 centimeters deep on the factory floor or on racked trays in separate rooms to facilitate oxidation. The temperature varies between 24 and 27 Celsius. We can control the temperature by using humidifiers or cool air. We know that during rolling, cell walls of tea leaves are already broken, and release the enzymes that are needed for oxidation process. So these enzymes will oxidize the polyphenol compounds within the leaves in the presence of oxygen and turn them brown. For your understanding, just imagine cutting pears or apple that turns brown due to the action of enzymes. Mainly monomeric flavonoids like T-catechin are oxidized to polymeric compounds called the theaflavin and the pu-erh begin with the action of enzymes called polyphenol oxidase. So, at the end of this process, the green color of tea leaves are changed to coppery red or chocolate brown color due to these newly formed compounds. Also, it will develop pleasant characteristic aroma of black tea. After the oxidation process, oxidized teas are subjected to drying process. This drying process helps to remove any remaining moisture and stop the oxidation process at the desired level. That means, once we apply heat in drying, it will inactivate the activity of polyphenol oxidase enzymes by denaturing them. Thereby, we can stop oxidation at right time to produce final teas with high quality. Also in drying, water content of leaves reduced from 60 to 72% to 2.5 to 3.5%. Drying can be either natural sun drying or artificial drying. Most commonly use fluidized bed dryers and belt dryers to facilitate the drying process. Among them, to achieve uniform drying, fluidized bed dryer is a good option. In the fluidized bed drying, hot air at high pressure is blown upwards directly underneath the wet tea particles arranged on a perforated bed. Because of that, they will move upward direction from the bottom and be completely suspended in the hot air stream. Once the tea particulates come in well contact with the heated air, excess moisture from the tea evaporates. Then humid air is exhausted at the top of the dryer. The next steps in the black tea manufacturing process are cleaning, sorting, grading and storage. After the drying process, the resultant tea may consist of different sized leaf particles along with some amount of fiber and stalk. So winnowers are used to remove impurities, dust particles and fiber parts. Also, tea is sorted depending on the size by using a series of screens with varying mesh sizes. Depending on the mesh size, teas can be graded as orange pekoe, broken orange pekoe, fanning and dust. When it comes to storing, we should store finished tea products in a cool place and protected from moisture and oxygen. Thereby, we can retain the quality of tea for up to 1 year. Finally, black tea can be packed in appropriate packaging materials, labeled and dispatched according. I think up to now you may have some idea about how black tea is processed. It is a complex process, involves several key steps, including plucking, withering, rolling, oxidation and drying. Each step plays an important role in creating the rich, flavorful beverage that is enjoyed by tea lovers around the world. Hope you all enjoy the today video, and you may learn something out of it. So if you're willing to see more videos related to food science and technology, please like the video and subscribe to this channel. It will really be helpful to me to bring this kind of videos. Again, thank you for watching and we'll meet with another video.